Hello, my name is Joe Rogish. I, along with my partner Adam Rawhauser, represent the affirmative side for this debate. We will show you why our plan to create more cost-effective education is the best answer to fix our country's current predicament. In a speech to Congress, Abraham Lincoln penned these famous words: "A house divided against itself cannot stand." Now, while he was speaking in the context of slavery, this quote can be directly applied to the crisis that is taking place today in the higher education system of America. The house, in today's case, is our country. It is divided between those privileged enough to earn a college degree and those who are not. In a recent study done by the Lumina Foundation, it shows that nearly 60% of working-age Americans are currently without a college degree. That's nearly 200 million working-age Americans who either have low-income employment or who are looking for work without the credibility of a college degree. That is almost 200 million Americans who could be contributing so much more to our struggling economy. However, with our proposal, we can change this fact for everyone without a degree, and at the same time boost the economy and give these people security for their lives. Before we go any further, however, I will define the terms that we will mainly be using. First, dictionary.com defines a community college as a non-residential junior college offering courses to people living in a particular area, unquote. Second, a grade point average, or GPA, defined by Merriam-Webster.com is, quote, the average obtained by dividing the total number of grade points earned by the total number of credits attempted, end quote. Third, high school is defined by Dictionary.com as, quote, a school attended after elementary school or junior high school and usually consisting of grades 9 or 10 through 12, end quote. Finally, Merriam-Webster.com defines a government as, quote, the organization or agency in which a political unit exercises authority and performs functions, and which is usually classified according to the distribution of power within it, end quote. Today, all across America, a plague is affecting both the young and old. Many had envisioned themselves going to college and getting a job after high school. However, according to the Illumina Foundation study, for nearly 60% of Americans today, that dream looks as if it would be impossible to achieve. However, if our plan is instituted, it would mean the average person's chance at achieving their goals would become exponentially higher. They could finally have a chance at achieving anything they had previously deemed impossible. To illustrate this, I will be outlining some of the harms that would ensue if our plan is not instituted. In 2008 to 2009, the United States suffered her biggest economic collapse and recession since the Great Depression. During the recession, almost 8 million people lost their jobs. 7 years later, according to CNN Money, only 0.01% of those who were unemployed have regained their jobs. It is obvious why this is. More and more employers want their employees to have college degrees. They want to know that their workers will have the required knowledge, resources, and skills at their disposal when given a task. In fact, according to a study done by Georgetown University, by 2020 it is estimated that over 2/3 of jobs in America will require a college degree. So without our plan, none of those 60% would be able to get a job, which would be devastating to our economy. Now I will state the details of our plan. The U.S. government should make those who maintain at least a 2.5 GPA throughout their 4 years of high school eligible for tuition-free education at a community college of their choice. This plan will be overseen by the United States Department of Education. Their job will be to coordinate the implementation of our plan and to ensure that no one who has not fully met the criteria is receiving the benefits offered by it. This proposal obviously would require a vast amount of funding. For our plan, the funding will come from increased taxes on those who make over $200,000 a year. However, before this plan can come into place, certain laws would need to be enacted. Mainly, Congress would need to institute a series of budget plans. The purpose of these would be to save those funds in sort of a holding account. This leads to the next point of our plan, when the plan will start being implemented. The money from the taxes will begin to be collected at the beginning of the upcoming fiscal year, and then after 3 more fiscal years, the Department of Education will be given full control of the collected money and would begin the plan's execution. Obviously, our plan is the best and only decent or efficient proposal that has been offered to fix the current issues that plague our country's education system. If our plan is implemented, it will save the poor and financially struggling both a lifetime of debt and will give them a chance to fulfill their dreams. It would offer 60% of America an equal opportunity at living a decent life. It would also give our economy a huge boost and would once again provide our nation the economic freedom and stability it so desperately needs. At the end of the day, more degrees equal more jobs, which equals more output, which equals a stronger, healthier economy and nation. In conclusion, While the higher education system of today is becoming a risky arena because of sky-high tuitions and crushing student debt, with our plan we can cut that out of the equation. Students not as privileged as current college students will finally have the opportunity they deserve, the opportunity to make something of their lives. If our plan is not instituted, in the immortalized words of Abraham Lincoln, our house is sooner or later doomed to fail. But if it is instituted, young Americans will finally be able to realize their American dream. So in the end, we must ask ourselves this question: will we approve of an economy where only few people do extremely well, or will we commit to an economy that brings about rising salaries and opportunities for anyone who makes the effort? Thank you. I now stand ready for cross-examination.
So we will have the cross-examination. You have 3 minutes.
Is free community college the only way to ensure low-income students can participate in college?
No, but it's a,
Yes or no?
no.
Okay. Is the federal government involved in college education? Yes or no, please?
You mean at this point?
Yes. Right now as we speak.
They fund public colleges, like, not private colleges.
Okay. Who will pay for the community college if the students don't pay for it?
Well, as I stated in the plan, they will increase taxes on people who make over $200,000 a year and make
Okay.
put that towards.
How
the
is
funding.
taxes only on the rich fair to everyone else?
Well, it's fair because it's not really unfair because
But where do we draw the line? Like, how is it, like, where do you draw the line on who's rich and who's poor?
Well, I'll tell you.
Like,
Okay, so
how is it fair to the rich even?
by using it's
They work for their money.
It's the risk outweighs, well, it's the end justifies the means, sort of.
Okay,
The
thanks.
money will help the economy, which will help everybody eventually.
Okay.
That's
Do Americans want to pay for students to go to college?
If they care about their economy, they should.
What's your source on that?
Somewhat.
On that Americans want to pay for students?
I never
to
said
go-
that. I said if they care about their economy, they should discuss it.
Well, how do you know that they want to pay for students to go to community college then?
I don't.
Okay. You said that the free community college will give the economy a boost, correct?
Yes.
Well, how do you know that it's going to give an economic boost?
Because the Georgetown University study says by 2020, 2/3 of jobs will require a college degree. So people have college degrees, they'll get jobs, which will add.
Okay. Thank
1
you.
minute.
What is the cost of this plan?
The exact cost,
Okay. So you say that 60% are without a degree?
at this point, yes.
Okay. Well, don't we need people without a degree to work, have a trucking job, have,
You can still have a degree and get the trucking job.
I know, but why would they need a degree to have that? Don't we need people without degrees who are willing to work for what we call more of a lower job? Don't we need people to be sort of like the janitors? Don't we need people to pick up after others? How are we going to have those people if they don't have, if everyone has a degree and no one will want to work those jobs?
That's a very confusing question.
Time. We will now have the first negative constructive speaker for 8 minutes.
Hello, I'm Nathan Mackey, and I, along with my partner Ella, are the negative team, arguing that we should not have free community college. Community college is a great thing with many benefits, and it has helped millions of Americans further their education. Currently, students have to pay for community college, but there are many grants and financial aids available. Some terms that should be defined before continuing would be community college. I agreed with the definition given, but I would like to add that that they are typically supported by the local government funds. So if that's right, if that's fine with the affirmative team, then we'll use that definition. Federal, pertaining to or of the nature of a union of states under a central government distinct from the individual governments of the separate states. Community college should not be free for many reasons, but I'll only mention 3 in this speech. My first point is that there are already many grants that help those who cannot pay for community college. The second is the fact that we would have to come up with 1/4 of the price that was proposed by Obama. And the federal government would have to pay the other 3/4, which will raise taxes. And my third point is that the resolution actually fringes on socialism. According to Community College Research Center, 38% of community college students have their tuition fully paid for. That leaves 62% who are not going for free, but many of that 62% are still helped, who are not going for free. They are still helped, and if they qualify for financial aid. This data shows that those who cannot afford can still get a higher education, and others are helped according to their need. There is nothing wrong with the system that we have now, and no change is needed. When you look at the resolution that community college should be free for in the U.S., many problems occur, such as when do students start to go for free? Will seniors be welcoming in freshmen who paid nothing when they had to pay? Also, the community colleges will have to expand and hire more teachers and staff. How will they get the money, and who will be paying? This leads us to my second point. Taxes will have to increase to pay for college to be free for students. States would end up having to pay, according to Obama's plan, an additional $15 billion, and the federal government would be paying the other $45 billion, with money it does not have. It would cause more debt and/or increase taxes. And after you go to college for free, you will have to pay these taxes, which means that for the rest of your life, you will be paying for that free college along with everybody else who did or did not go. Just about anyone likes the idea of free. Free college sounds like a great thing, but when you look at the true state of the situation, it cannot succeed. People want free college, but do not want more taxes. You cannot have one without the other. Why make others who are just trying to get by have to pay more taxes so someone who does not qualify for financial aid go to college for free? This is infringing on the rights of others. This is making money from others and redistributing it. And that leads me to my final point, that having free community college fringes on socialism. Socialism is, quote, any of various economic and political theories advocating collective or governmental ownership and administration of the means of production and distribution of goods. There has already been a debate here with socialism, and we saw how inferior it is to capitalism. In 1920, the Austrian economist Ludwig von Mises wrote the famous essay, Economic Calculation in the Socialistic Commonwealth. Mises states that socialism is, quote, illogical, uneconomic, unworkable at its core. It is impossible and must fail because it is devoid of economic rationale. It provides no means for any objective basis of economic calculation, and thus no way to assign resources to their most productive uses. I feel I do not need to stress how illogical socialism is because I'm talking to an audience who is already informed on the topic, so I will move on. Now a quick sum up. With our current system, we have financial aid, grants, and scholarships that are in place to help those who need help. No change is necessary. Our system has stood the test of time. The federal government, along with states, would have to gain billions of dollars that it does not have, which means they would have to have more taxes on citizens. And the resolution is very socialistic, which we all know to be a setup for failure. To conclude, I will present a few alternatives that the to the resolution that are already taking place. On March 29th, 2015, which was 2 days ago, Harper College announced its free tuition scholarships. An article from Chicago Tribune states, Harper officials on Monday plan to announce the Promise Scholarship Program to let students earn a 2-year degree without paying a penny in tuition, if they meet specific criteria, beginning in high school and continuing through college. Participants will have to earn their scholarships by keeping decent grades, attending classes full-time, and performing community service. From the same article, Ken Ender said, everyone doesn't mature at the same time, but if you show grit and determination, that's the kind of student we want to attract and retain and nurture. This is very different than what Obama is trying to put in place, or what the affirmative team is trying to put in place, because these students would have to work for their scholarship and would not be receiving a free handout. There are other programs at companies like NSA, Booz Allen, Northrop Grumman, and others, where they pay for students to go to college, and in return, the student has to work a certain amount of years for the company. So the student has their college paid for and job security. I see all of this to show that if someone cannot afford college, they can still get a degree if they are a good worker. Thank you, and I'm ready for my cross-examination.
And we'll have the cross-examination by the 1K. You have 3 minutes.
You stated that, I believe that this, you compared our plan to free government handouts, correct?
Yes.
Well, it's not exactly because they still have to work for it. They have to have at least a 2.5 GPA, so if they're below that, they can't get it because they're not.
Students should try to get the best grades that they can while paying. That's not quite working for it. That's just getting a good degree so that it'll be good on your resume.
Yes. Ready for the 2AC? Great minutes.
Hello, I'm Adam Rollhauser of the Affirmative Team. Today my goal is to show you why community college needs to be a free institution. I want to show you why the negative team has been trying to pull the wool over your eyes and disguise the cold hard facts about our debate topic here today. While they have tried to paint the concept of free community college as a foolish, unnecessary expenditure, it is in fact essential to our nation's recovery, both economically and educationally. I hope that when I leave this podium today, everyone in the audience will have a new understanding of free community college, an understanding untainted by negative stereotyping. Did you know that 30% of American students in the middle and upper class drop out of high school before they graduate? That is a major issue. Journalist John Hope Bryant paraphrases it this way: a business with a 10 to 15% product rejection rate would be in very serious trouble. The customer is just walking away from the product. In the same way, high school students are walking away from their education. Even worse, no less than 70%, yes, 70% of African American young men drop out of high school before they graduate. These are very alarming numbers. Again, Mr. Hope Bryant has some powerful comments. These young men can't envision a connection between their education and future prosperity. When they feel all is for naught, why try in the first place? They lose hope. We have failed to connect education with aspiration for significant numbers of young people. So why are students losing hope? The blame falls on the shoulders of educational expense. Students are becoming increasingly more and more aware of the fact that college education is incredibly expensive. For the students living in inner city slums, it is easier to fall back into the hopeless addictions of their parents and grandparents: alcoholism, drugs, and violence. Free community college, coupled with better motivation in public schools, is what we need to motivate these young men and women to overcome the vicious cycle that becomes so easy to accept when one believes their life is worthless. Yet another virtue of free community college is that it will help college graduates hit the ground running as they leave college and go out into the world. According to Georgetown University, by the year 2020, 2/3 of all jobs will require at least some post-secondary training, which few employers are willing to provide. It is increasingly more difficult to get a worthwhile job without a college education. But to entertain hopes of flourishing in the business realm, students must take on massive college debt, which hampers their ability to make financial impact on the world around them. According to the College Board, average college education was over $30,000 per year in the years 2013 and 2014. That's a lot of money. This means that the average bachelor's degree costs $120,000. Very few people have that kind of money in the bank. Free community college would be a life-changing opportunity for all people, not just the extreme lower class. In a sense, free community college would pay for itself. The money that goes in to help the 40% of our young men and women who choose community college every year would be reciprocated many times over in the economic prosperity that would be the end result. No one can deny that our nation is teetering on the edge of financial destruction. Free community college would tremendously ease the burden of those who seek a college education but lack the enormous funds needed to pay for it. Our plan is simple. We will pay for community college through a new tax on those who make more than $200,000 per year. To be applicable for community college, one must be a senior who has graduated and kept a B+ grade average throughout high school. I now address the main issues brought up against making community college free. The negative team may bring up the point that it's not fair to tax people who have earned their money fairly just so the government can institute free community college. They may argue that this is a communist idea, but the affirmative team is fully aware, first of all, that no one likes taxes. We are also aware that most people have a wrong understanding of taxation. The words new taxes are like swear words in the minds of most Americans. Unfortunately, what people fail to realize is that taxes are necessary to keep a good government running. Why do governments need taxes? Governments need money for the upkeep of roads and public property, and most importantly, to help fund the military. But where should this money come from? There are two options, either through fair taxes or through printing money. Printing money or inflation is very bad for the economy. It drives up prices and drives non-inflated money out of circulation. To keep this from happening, our founding fathers gave the government the right to tax in the Constitution in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 1. In short, taxing is not fun for those taxed, but it is fair. Without tax, the government is reduced to the destruction of our economy through inflation. Also, taxing is not our plan is not a communist idea, because in communism or socialism, they're pretty much the same thing. What you do is you take money out of the hands of the rich and basically send it right to the poor without asking them to do anything. In our plan, we are taking the money from the rich justly through taxation, and we are putting it back into the economy in the form of education to stimulate the economy. Will people be smart enough or serious enough for college if we make it a free institution? Absolutely. The B+ grade average for high school assures that any insincere students will be weeded out from college applications. Some argue that the cost of community college is not that much. However, if you listen to anything the affirmative team has to say today, you need to understand that this argument is not even relevant to this debate. The whole point of free community college is to make college possible for those who do not even have enough money to pay the so-called small cost of community college. Now, should the federal government have power over education? Is that part of the government's responsibilities? Yes, the government should have this responsibility. Government involvement in education today is as necessary as government involvement in economics was during the Great Depression. Today we face an educational and intellectual depression. The United States is not even in the top 10 in world education. We've been surpassed by countries like Russia and South Korea. Many educationally successful countries, such as Finland, who places in the top 5, have free college. Other countries include Germany, Norway, and Sweden. As a final note, I wish to ask the judges to remember what I said in my introduction. The affirmative team has not sidestepped the negative arguments. We have addressed them and presented the legitimacy of our resolution. For these reasons, I ask you to proceed with an open mind as we enter the rebuttals. Thank you for your time, and I now stand ready for cross-examination.
We'll have the cross-examination. You have 3 minutes.
What class or group of people would you be targeting by making community college free?
Essentially, we're targeting the extreme lower class, but we are making it free to all
that's
individuals.
good.
The reason we need to target the extreme lower class
that's
is because
good.
they are in
That's good.
severe economic poverty,
So,
and it's hampering their
You had
ability.
said that you're targeting the severe lower class. So you'd be taking money from the rich, as you said, and putting it into the economy, targeting the severe lower class.
Targeting economic stimulation
please
through
let me finish.
education of the extreme lower class.
Which means you'd be taking money from the rich, putting it for the education, targeting the extreme lower class, and by your
So that we
definition
can
of
stimulate the
socialism,
economy.
is taking the money from the rich and giving it to the poor. Exactly.
Putting
as
it
you said.
directly into the
my
hands
next
of the poor.
question-
Putting it directly into the
my
hands
next
of the poor, which is not
question
what we're doing.
Is if everyone has a college degree, how will employers pick one over the other? One reason why we pick employers
People
want
get degrees in different fields.
Many jobs, such as NSA, does not require a degree. You have to have a degree, but it does not matter what kind. They just want you to have that education, know that you're competent. So if everyone has it, won't they need a doctorate's degree or a master's degree or some other higher form of education?
Not necessarily. Not everyone seeks a job at the NSA. I mean, or through the NSA, I should say. Lots of people seek. I know, but not everyone seeks jobs at the exact same locations. People are going to be getting a lot of different kinds of degrees. And also, not everyone's going to want to pursue this plan.
My other question is, how would you gain money from getting the taxes? You said that it would continue to produce money.
Right. The people that we're taxing are going to be the kind of people who have a lot of investments in the economy. They own businesses. They're entrepreneurs.
No, once the money's already taken, how are the colleges going to make more money?
Colleges? How are the colleges going to make more money?
Yes, from the money.
They're going to be funded by the taxes.
Oh, so the taxes are just going to continue?
Yes.
Okay. What does the high school dropout have to do with college, the free community college?
Because people are getting discouraged because of the high prices of college.
So where is your information linking the high school dropout and being discouraged from prices of college?
1 minute.
Several different sources,
Such as?
journalist John O'Brien was one of the sources who links the dropout rate to the low attendance in colleges.
Okay. And you said that no one likes taxes.
Right. I don't think
you
anybody
cannot say
enjoys
that
taxes.
because other people that I know, and particularly me, am perfectly fine paying taxes, and it's good to be a good citizen.
Okay, well then let me restate that. Taxes aren't necessarily, like, you don't run to the tax office
All right,
to
that's
pay your
good.
taxes.
And my other question is, you said that community college is still expensive and needs a lot of money. Are you aware that 38% already go tuition free if they qualify?
I was not aware of that, but I am also aware of the fact that most of those people
And
who qualify are in the middle and upper class. The people in the
You
lower
cannot-
class have no stimulation
You
to go
cannot
to
qualify
college.
unless you need financial aid, and so which means you will be the lower class financially.
That's only
And that is-
38%. That's over 50%.
The
who do
62%
not attend
still gets
college.
financial aid and other scholarships, just not completely free.
So you're saying
And I'm
so
not
that makes
making-
you're saying 100% of individuals go to college, which they don't.
Yes.